88.5 FM. It is Brother John, your brother from another mother, like no other. And I'm still here, ladies and gentlemen. We've been putting in work today. I want to send a special shout out to Kevin G. Ritz, the United States Attorney, Western District of Tennessee, that came through tonight and spoke with some children here at Memphis Shelby County Schools, and the broadcast students interviewed him. He's looking to get in the community and help do some things, and he did a great job. And all I took from it, brothers and sisters, if you doing something that's involving federal crimes, he said day for day, if you doing 10, you doing every single day. I was like, man, and I made him look in the camera and say that. So, wow. But that's neither here nor there, because now, ladies and gentlemen, I got a brother in the studio now. My brother, D Mercy, was here last week, and he brought up your name, and I was like, man, that's the brother. And he spoke so highly of you, man. And it was like him telling me, okay, now it's time to bring my brother on. He could have been on before, but when you operate from the spirit, and if somebody tell you to move, if God tell you to move, you move. So I want to thank you, because when the way you spoke him up, I said, I gotta bring him up. I gotta bring him on. So I thank you for speaking highly of this brother. Because now I want the whole world, I want the whole social media and all of Memphis. Those that don't know him after today, they gonna know who he is.
Yeah, most definitely.
But let's talk about our brother Pastor Ricky Floyd before we get to him. Back to you, D Mercy, and we're gonna play your song at the conclusion of this. Okay. But I want you to kind of talk about what this brother means to you.
Man, honestly, I could write a whole book.
Okay.
I mean,
give me the minute and 30-second version.
Okay. But no, real talk though. Man, Pastor Ricky Floyd, really means a lot to me. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't really just had my father in my life, and that's something. It's like child trauma to me, because it's like I see the guys that do have their father figures in their life, and I be like, man, I want to sit down and I want to sit down and break bread with my dad and my pops. You know what I'm saying? And I always had it tough, really just speaking on not having a father figure. So I had to get out that shell. So the only way I had to get out that shell was let me do something for the youth that I know I wanted my father to do for me. So that's how I end up, really just spreading the message about, how my father had been in my life. And Pastor Ricky Floyd, like, man, I really met him though a while back. They was doing the expungement program. And so I came up there to the expungement program that they were having at Pursuit of God Church Memphis or whatever. And so when I went up there, man, I'm talking about real deal. They pastor,
putting in that work.
I'm talking about the man.
That old work.
They were removing that old work. So me, when I see good fruit like that, you know what I'm saying? I was like, man, you know what? I got in. I'm talking about the line was moving.
Right.
So I got in, and they were like, man, I don't think my felon. I got a felon or whatever. But they were telling me it's not that type of felony where it can't come off. Like yours, really off. You just need to. We just need you to pay this change. You got to pay this little money, and it'll be all the way gone.
Gotcha.
So it wasn't really nothing they could do for me, because I just needed to pay. It was really hitting towards the people that's really battling like payments, and it's kind of like it's stuck there. So I went live, and man, Pastor Ricky Floyd finally, because he was so busy. It was like
he moved.
He was moving.
Man,
so
moving.
You couldn't really just get to him like that. But I was standing outside, and then Pastor Ricky Floyd came out. He was like, hey, man, did they take care of you? Like, his heart's so genuine, though. He was like, man, did they take care of you? I'm like, yeah, they took care of me. They took care of me. He said, okay, that's what I'm talking about. I said, I'm going live right now. He passed probably not remember this, but I was like, man, I'm going live right now. He was like, okay, yeah, get the brothers out here. So, man, I had probably close to about 10 guys to show up,
like that.
Just like that.
Because of the
expungement program. And
so you felt something.
Yeah, I felt something, and I'm like, man, I got a lot of homies that I know that's really dealing with this. Like, let me go live. I don't want to not hide this from what's going on. So, and speaking of him, that's just one big fruit right there. That's like, man, you doing this over here?
Right.
Man, he could be like not even worried about the communities in Frayser. You know what I'm saying? But man, me and my lady, I had been visiting Pursuit of God for a minute, and he was like, he'll hit me up with the message. He been laughing at that part, but he'll hit me up and be like, hey man, you supposed to be. But he won't just come right out. So like, join my church.
He let you know what it was.
He just let me know like I ain't gonna put no pressure on you. I ain't gonna make you join, but man, you know where you supposed to be, and not knocking other churches. You know what I'm saying? But it's more so of go where you appreciate it, not where you just tolerate it. You know what I'm saying? Yes, so but what really opened my eyes up, like my lady, man, she was like, man, I want to go visit Pastor Rick Floyd church. So we went, and she was like, I'm gonna get ready to get back into church, and she went. The first time she was like, yeah, I like this church. And for me, being in another church for a minute, it's like, I can't let her be at another church. And I ain't in there too.
You know that.
We in two different churches. It's like, if I'm gonna be the head of the household, I gotta understand, you know, how to her feelings. Like, if this church ain't sitting well for her, but she comfortable over here, man, then I need to let me go and come on with it. So all I can hear is that voice from Pastor Rick and Floyd saying, hey man, you know what you gotta do.
Right.
You know, so and ever since joining the Pursuit of God, you know, man, it's like he put me, and I'm gonna tell you this too, and it ain't always good, you know, because he gonna give me that real correction too. He gonna let me know, hey man, this ain't it. You know what I'm saying? This what you need to do. Tighten up on it. I'm gonna help you out, but man, you're a man, so you need to go ahead. You need to make them steps. Now, one thing I can say about him, I know I'm saying a lot about Pastor, man, but one thing,
30 seconds.
yeah,
I did tell him.
I'm trying.
I told him up front now.
Yeah, I'm trying.
It from your heart.
Man, it just so I'm getting, because I want to give him his flowers while he living. You know what I'm saying? And you know, man, it's like when he see you actually, and you know, that's why I'm talking about. He's a pastor and he's a father to me now. You know, he more than a pastor. It's like, man, he saw me taking certain steps, man. And he was like, I'm behind you. You got my back, I got your back.
That's it.
You know, and he pushed me. He pushed me to greatness. It's always, it's never about me getting up in the church and grabbing the mic. It's him seeing, like, recognizing. You know, some pastors can get too caught up in, man, it's too many members. I got to only just show favoritism to this member right here. Nah, Pastor Rick Floyd, he gonna make his way around. Like, you know, so
let's give him his flower. And I appreciate that. And ladies and gentlemen, you know, sometimes when you tell somebody or you ask somebody to speak on somebody, you really can't put no time limit on it, Pastor. And I just watched his expression of gratitude to what you did for him. So, brother, you know, I think that's the best introduction somebody can give somebody is to give a real testimony. This ain't what you heard. This is what he did for you.
This is what he did for me.
And ladies and gentlemen, people that's listening on Facebook and listening on the radio station, this brother here, every time I seen him, he's been the same, 100, 100, 100. He had me in a room full of pastors, a whole lot of pastors. We was at a Shoney's, I think. We was in the cut out there off the stage road over there by Craigmont High School. And the brother let me speak amongst all these important pastors. Nobody in this city ever gave me that platform, and I thank you for that, Pastor Floyd and Stephanie Love. You know, our sister speaks. So, matter of fact, she one of the main ones that told me about you in the beginning. And I always said, man, that brother been A1 since day one, man. So, welcome.
Man, can I tell you a funny thing about me and Commissioner Love?
Go ahead and put the love out there. Go ahead.
I call her right now sometimes, just say, I love you, love.
Just like that.
But, man, me and her used to fight like cats and dogs.
Stop playing, man.
On social media, we had to block each other, man.
Are you serious?
Man,
y'all, I thought y'all was in love with that, man.
We in love now. We evolved.
Y'all evolved.
But, man, we used to hate each other, man. And I remember last year we had something where we were supporting each other. And I said, Commissioner, did you ever think we would love? Man, both of us just started crying, man.
Wow.
Because the bitterness, the drama was so real with us, but now, man, the love is so real.
You all
for
like
us.
brothers and sisters.
And what happened was, man, our passions.
That's right.
We were passionate. We were bold. We wasn't backing down. When we learned to blend those passions together, brother, we began to see results, man, that impacted everybody.
Wow.
Yeah.
So y'all been through it,
man.
And now look at y'all.
Man.
Can't keep y'all apart.
Yeah, I just call her sometimes. I love you, love. That's it. That's it. Do you need anything?
Especially the stuff that she's been
yes,
through.
Sir.
You know
yes,
what
sir.
I'm saying? And she's still here
yes,
fighting.
Sir. Yes, sir.
But now, man, I want to focus on you, man. Like the brother said, man, it's not just him.
Yeah.
And I just saw a video the other day where you was in the car and you
Oh,
had
yeah.
young brothers with you, and you in there freestyling.
Yep.
And I looked at the picture and I said, see,
Yeah.
this brother found a way, or he found those young men where
Yeah.
they are.
Yeah.
Got them riding clean,
Yeah.
and then they're rapping. And I
Yeah.
said to myself, that's mentorship.
Yes,
You know,
sir.
that's leadership. Because they could have been doing something else,
They
man.
was doing.
They was doing
Yeah,
something
some
else.
of them was doing some
Wow.
other things.
So talk about, man, your inspiration of where you get this from, man, because you always are in the community. You helping young men, you helping adults, women, children, you fighting with the educate for love, helping her, you know, talk about the new schools and stuff they building out there. Man, where does it all come from, man? Because you've been the same every time I see you.
Man, it come from pain.
Mm.
It come from pain. It come from rejection. It come from failure. It come from rejection. And man, as you know, as Mercy was talking, man, I was thinking about how, man, when he talked about how he's giving back to the youth, man, we are giving what we wish we had.
Right.
Come on now.
We wish we had somebody to show us mercy, somebody to show us the right way, somebody to show us some skill, somebody to show us some compassion, somebody to show us the gifts and talents that we had. And that's where it came from, man. You know, people ask me, man, why you so forgiving, man? And I said, because I done messed up a lot, brother. And to whom much is given, much is required.
Right.
And I know that one of the things, you know, I got 3 children, man, and they all got different personalities. And as a pastor, you know, there's this projected image that your children's supposed to have. And sometimes, man, when they frustrate me, like all parents do,
Oh, yeah.
I look back and say, man, what was I doing at 19?
Right.
You know, I got mad at my children one time because I found out 2 of them wasn't tithing.
Oh, okay.
Dude, I got mad.
Really?
And then I thought about it. Hell, I wasn't even in the church at that age. I'm mad at them.
But you on
because they wasn't tithing, but I wasn't even, man, listen, I was with Dr. Talib Kareem Muhammad at that time. And so I used to literally stand out in front of the church and mock Christians, brother.
Wow.
In front of the church on Sunday and tell them how stupid they was for going in the church. So I kind of gave them grace. I said, y'all need to start tithing, but I wasn't as hard on them as I used to be.
Wow.
And so that's, I think, I was sitting in a game with my son, Lakers game, and this is what I said to myself. I said, man, I'm the father that I wish I had.
Right. Go.
And so that's what I try. I try to be the pastor that I wish I had.
You were saying, Mercy. Yeah.
I try to be the mentor that I wish I had. I try to be the son that you know, I wish I could have been my mother. I try to be that son now that I wasn't then. So, man, I try to erase the excuses or the reasons that people have to stay stuck in crisis situations.
Right.
And so I think about Charlie Caswell, because I say this thing.
Shout out to Charlie Caswell.
Yes,
man,
sir.
we're excuse erasers. And the same thing, D. Mercy, man. You know, I didn't know his whole story. I knew it was something there. And one day we were talking, man, and because sometimes he would get defensive in my love of correction.
I got you.
And he knew I loved him, but he would get defensive sometimes. And so, man, when he told me his story, it all made sense.
Wow.
See, sometimes we just need to know people's story, man.
That's it. Come on, man.
And when I talk about that, man, I was married to my wife for 14 years before I told her a portion of my story. And when you're in covenant relationship with people and don't tell them your story, man, they're supposed to be aiding, healing, correcting, cultivating you. But if you go to the doctor, man, and you bleed on the inside, you tell him you got a hangnail, you can't be mad at the doctor because he's focusing on the hangnail and don't know you bleeding on the inside. He's not a bad doctor. You just a bad patient because you hadn't revealed all the sickness, diseases, and trauma that you're going through.
Right.
And so, man, I love loving people, man. You know I'm here by amazing grace. Man, was born in the poorest county, in the poorest state in the United States of America, Tunica. They called it Sugar Ditch back then. And my mother probably was the poorest.
Why they call it Sugar Ditch?
Bruh, it's a story to it. When they went down to do a story on it one time, it was the poorest. And a little girl, you know, they had that country accent in 1960 something.
Oh, okay.
And so she called it SHIT.
I got you.
And she said, what did she say? Her mom, she said sugar, baby. She said sugar.
Wow.
So,
wow.
but she had said the other word.
Right.
And so that's what the terminology sugar did. But what it was, they had no plumbing there.
In
Tunica. So
where all the casinos at right now?
Yeah, right now. But before that, it was just cotton fields and juke joints.
You remember that?
Yeah.
Wow.
And my granddad, my mother worked cotton fields in the day and juke joints at night.
Your grandmother?
No, my mother.
Your mother?
And our situation was so tough, man, that my mother was like the stepchild out of 13 children. So they wouldn't even let nobody keep me. So the way my mother fed me, man, this is my mother's story. She would put me on a mattress and leave bottles strategically around so that I would eventually crawl myself and find a bottle. And that's how I fed while she was working either in the cotton field or juke joint, because nobody was allowed to touch me or have anything to do with me.
Are you serious?
So
everybody got a story.
Everybody got a story, bro. Everybody got a story. So my daddy was the good hair quarterback. That this is what my uncle told me. My uncle told me while everybody else was taking a cornbread break from courting, chopping cotton, my dad went broke.
Cornbread break?
Yeah, they went to eat cornbread.
During the break
for
from
lunch.
Picking cotton?
Yeah. Dad went broke mama something off, and here I
got you. That's a different kind of break.
Yeah, they took a different break, so that's how I was conceived. So for the first part of my life, man, I lived my life thinking I was a mistake. That born in a cotton field.
Come on.
And then finally my daddy told me I wasn't born in the cotton field. He told me I was born on a dirty clothes pile.
Wow.
Man, I'm thinking you about it. Yeah. You was on a nice bed. This man said a dirty clothes pile.
Yeah.
Brother.
So man, the fact that, my mother, we moved to over by Riverside when she was probably 17 at the time. Again, no support. And I can remember, man, my mama looking up under the doors when people would knock on the doors. And she said she was looking under the door to see if they had Stacey Adams on. Wow. Because if they had Stacey Adams, she knew it was a pimp.
Oh,
and don't open the door.
Straight up.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But my mother, Doc, with that 8th grade education, today lives in Mississippi, 40 acres of land. She got 3 houses, 13 horses, 2 trucks. Man, she living good because
she living her best life.
She taught us work ethics and no excuse. And even though she grew up in a horrific city, she never got involved in alcohol or drugs. She was a hustler, but she was gonna get that money.
She gonna get that money.
Yeah. She had restaurants. She was gonna walk out the restaurant with all the salt and pepper shakers. Mama was gonna get it in, brother. But she taught us work ethic, and she taught me and my sisters, all y'all got is each other. So even though it was just us, man, we were close. All of us today, all of us were hard workers, and honor mama, man.
Now, but man, appreciate you sharing that. But let's go back to that work ethic.
Yeah.
Because that's something that's missing, I think, in our community. I see it in sports.
Yeah.
Now with these NIL deals, they throwing money at our young athletes. So that's really killing the work ethic. Then you got some people that's like, man, I don't want no job unless it's paying X, Y, Z.
Yeah.
But it seemed like work ethic is the basis for success. You were taught work ethic. What do you think happened, man? Because if we got work ethic, that's how we can rebuild our community.
Man, I think even though my biological father wasn't in my house, I had a stepfather. He worked for a trucking company. Worked there 40 years. I saw that man miss one day.
One day?
In 40 years.
D Mercy. Now look, some folks working 2 months and then miss 14 days.
One day.
One day.
And then my mother worked like that. My mother, so it wasn't nothing. See, my parents were two and three jobs. They was gonna get it in. And so early that was instilled in me, man, work ethics. Man, I had a job at 10 years old. I was around the neighborhood cutting lawns for food stamps, man. That's when the food stamps were plastic coins and everything. It was just, and I think my work ethics is the reason that I never got involved with drugs, because I always had to work for my money.
I got you.
And I saw how quick people who did dope lost their money.
You had a lot of examples in front of you that like I'm not doing that.
Yeah. And then somebody tried to make me think. They tried to get me involved. They just said, "Man, it's better than sex." Well, that's the worst thing you could have told me. I didn't want nothing.
Right. I understand.
Better than sex. So I went the other way when they told me that there was something out there better than sex.
Wow.
And so, man, just working hard, man. I always had a work ethic. And here's the good thing too, Bess. I never did good in school, man. I never did good in school. And I told you I went to Craigmont. I was a DJ in the 11th grade, 88.5. Man, I took 11th grade English 3 times.
3 times?
Yes,
English?
Sir. 11th grade.
Okay, not seeing 12th grade,
Yeah.
11th grade.
Took 11th grade English 3 times, 12th grade twice. Out of a class of 258, I was 255.
What?
255, brother. Out of 258. Failed
Wow.
choir.
How you fail choir?
Oh, my God.
Singing?
Man, I failed choir.
Wow.
And so for me, and then my family was not really connected. Like my children can use my name to get jobs, get stuff like that. My family was not really connected. So I knew, man, 2 things. If I went, I had to work hard. I had to show up to the interview early. I had to have a positive attitude, and I was going to be dressed for whatever the job was.
Right.
So even if I didn't have the education or the skill for it, my attitude, my appearance, my showing up early, and I can't even tell you where I got this from. I would do research on wherever I went to interview for to impress them that I wasn't just coming for a job, that I was somebody that would be somebody that they could excel. And that was all the little man. Listen, I told you what my grades was.
Right.
Man, I was working at MAPCO as an insulator, and they were getting ready to hire chemical engineers, and they had 300 people interviewed. Doc, I made it down to the final 3.
What?
Doc, I'm glad they didn't let me do it. I would have been over there messing with all them chemicals. But out of 300 people, man, I made it down to the final 3.
But you failed in 11th grade.
Doc, I don't even remember taking science.
Oh my God. We got a lot.
Man.
But people, that's why I tell our young people, man, attitudes is everything. And watch this, honoring other people.
Honoring.
See.
People.
I'm here today. You've been knowing me for a long time. You know what but I'm here today because I honor him.
Yep.
I tell people this, man, you only 3 people away from somebody who can change everything about your life.
That's right. Come on, man.
See, again, I'm sitting here today. I know him. He know you. I know Stephanie. Stephanie know you.
Right.
I'm sitting here today getting love from the best, baby.
Come on, man.
And so that's why I say, man, you treat everybody right.
Everybody.
Man, at the end of service, if I got man, I'm giving kids peppermints. I'm dealing with old folks. I ain't just dealing
So
with
they bearing with you.
Right.
They shaking their head.
I
seen him.
I'm hugging they 9-year-old. I'm squeezing the 8. Man, I'm sure, because you never know.
Yes, sir.
Who, brother,
Right.
is going to be the one that connects the dots to you. You never know. And most of the time, it is the most unlikely people that you never thought.
Boom.
Nobody could have never told me. Now, remember, I told you I was in Islam for a while, militant. No one could have ever told me that a Southern Baptist church, I teach prosperity teaching, they don't believe in that. I got a woman in ministry by my side, they don't believe in that. Some people call me apostle, they don't believe in that. Nobody could have never told me that they would be the one who would give me a $2 million building debt free.
Wow.
Watch it.
Wait.
And I ain't trying
Say
to
that again. Look right
$2 million building debt free, and didn't try to make me change nothing that I do.
What?
You never
Showed it.
know who God is going to use, watch this, to make his vision come to pass through you. That's why you treat everybody right.
Man, so, man, in saying that, so you got to tell people, because, you know, it's a lot of talk about Frayser, right?
Yeah.
You, Charlie Caswell, everybody, you know, everybody know that's been there putting in work. So when you hear this talk, revitalization, Starbucks coming out there, all this stuff, new school,
Yeah.
and all this different things going on. What do you see is a way where Frayser can come up? Because we know you can throw money at something and still have a problem.
First of all, I don't want Starbucks.
You don't want Starbucks.
I want Muggins.
Come on now.
You heard of Muggins?
I heard of Muggins. Yes, sir.
I want Muggins. As a matter of fact, I passed 3 Starbucks this morning to go to Muggins in Uptown.
Come on, man.
And then that's one of my first cup of coffee. My last cup of coffee was at R.J. Groove's vegan restaurant.
Yes, sir.
I don't want Starbucks.
Plant-based heat, I think that's
yeah. I sweat at Whitehaven. I threw a little salt at Whitehaven today. I said, man, how y'all tell Muggin to come to Whitehaven and then Starbucks come and y'all abandon them? Listen, my mindset, brother, is in Frayser, we finna build a Black Wall Street in Frayser. We finna build a Black Wall Street in Frayser.
Come on.
And so that's what my mindset is. I am bold about, I'm not anti-white, I'm not anti-Hispanic. I believe if Memphis power should represent the percentages of people that are there. And man, there's a statistic that I don't know if the Lord or the devil messed up and saw me, let me see the statistic, but it has become almost an obsession to me.
Okay.
And I saw a statistic, a study that was done 7 years ago that says by 2053, Black net worth is supposed to be at 0.
What? 0?
I'm gonna send it to you.
Yeah, send me that, brother.
And here's when I had them to put that up. See, that's the kind of stuff I preach at my church.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And so when I had them to put that on the screen, I found a picture at the last minute, and I didn't pay attention to the bottom line that said the Hispanic community is supposed to be at 0%. Guess what year they supposed to be? Don't y'all say nothing. Y'all was in class.
Look,
They might not have been paying no attention.
We're paying attention.
But
We're paying
guess
attention
what
now.
year Hispanic is supposed to be at 0%?
When?
Just take one guess. Just one guess.
So
If
you
we're
said
2053 for African Americans, Hispanic
2056.
2073.
Yep.
20
What?
years
After us.
later.
Yep.
And so I say the scripture that says a good man leaves an inheritance for his children. Best, there's never been a realer scripture for us now, because that's the age that our grandchildren are going to be functioning fully. And if we don't respond to unity, to commerce, to land, to ground, I say every man, y'all can remember, every man need a good girl, a ground, a grind, some gold, a gun, and a relationship with God. All of them.
All of them, yep. That's true.
All of them.
Man, so but the work though, like
Yeah.
the work you're doing tell us about this building. Tell us about what you got going on out there, man. Because we saw some pictures you posted out there. But let's talk about the work that you're doing.
Yeah. I believe as churches that we have a responsibility not just to teach Jesus on Sunday, sing on Sunday, shout on Sunday. This is a question that I asked. As a matter of fact, I was with the district attorney, the police chief, a lot of those high officials Saturday at a 7 p.m. meeting. And this is what whenever I'm around three or more pastors, I ask this question: if your church was to leave, or mosque, or Kingdom Hall, if it was to leave your community, how long would it take the community to realize y'all were gone?
Wow.
You ever heard somebody that say, man, I ain't know such and such is dead. Man, he been dead dude been dead for 2 years.
Right.
That means dude didn't have no impact on your life.
Right.
That's right. That's right.
If he's been dead for 2 years.
And you just not finding out.
And you just recognizing that. And I asked the question, if your church leaves the community, how long would it take the community to leave?
Wow.
And listen, for some church, they won't realize till the toy drive come at Christmas time.
That's right.
Some of them won't know till the Thanksgiving basket come. Some won't know till back to school backpack come. I believe if our church left our community within 4 hours, it'll be a ruckus.
4 hours.
4 hours.
Y'all bear witness to that? Y'all
I bear witness.
And let me tell you why.
Yeah.
Out of 31 days in a month, our doors are probably open 28 days.
Yeah.
Out of 31.
Out of 31
Y'all bear
days.
witness to that.
Yeah.
Let me tell you what. Let me tell you
It's
what
true.
you can get on our campus. You can get on our campus. You can get a GED.
Mm-hmm.
You can get a doctor's degree. We got a Life Christian University. My wife is working on her doctor's degree right now. We're in the process of getting a private Christian all boys school on our. We're getting our paperwork together for that. You can get a ASE certified mechanical training on our campus. We partner.
Come
See,
on,
we believe
Pastor.
in partnership. We believe in partnership. You can get boys mentoring. You can get marriage counseling. You can get psychological counseling for adults and children. You can get your driver's license back. You can get your child support reinstated. You can get housing. You can get food. You can get and that's just you.
Wait.
On our
Mercy.
campus now.
Man, now look, now he dropping some serious stuff right here,
It's
man.
all
It's
documented.
It's proof. So
It's true.
you co-sign that.
Yeah.
I co-sign it.
Get your teeth fixed.
Yeah.
Come on.
You can cut
Hold
a
up.
CD. We got a recording studio.
Wow,
You can cut a CD. You can have an event, but you can get clothes. I said
We got them on there.
Yeah. These some of my best customers.
We got the drip on right now. This came from Regroup.
These some of my best customers right
Wow.
here.
here. But you can get employment. So with
Ain't
that,
no excuse. You removing all excuses then.
Yes, sir.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep,
So
just
they
so.
were having her oldest son, who's a star athlete. They were having a little challenge with him. Man, I said, bring him to church Wednesday night. Tony Allen, the grandfather from the Grizzlies. Yeah, that's right. I did.
Came and got him.
Yeah. So he met with Tony Allen, and listen, 2 days later he won. 2 days later he won the championship and the MVP of the championship.
Wow.
And so, man,
Yep.
and one of those is I believe relationships is the new prosperity.
Mm-hmm.
Relationships.
Relationships
That's right.
is the new prosperity.
Is it right there?
Yes, sir. You got to have relationships.
Yes, sir.
man.
Yes, sir. And so God told me this about 5 years ago, Bess. He said, I want you to diversify your spiritual
Right.
and your racial portfolio.
Mm-hmm.
Diversify that.
Your spiritual and your racial portfolio. And he says when the stock market dropped, and even during the Great Depression, he said everybody didn't get depressed.
Mm-hmm.
He said some people became millionaires.
Overnight.
It depends on how they had their portfolio diversified. And so when God told me that, just like the other day, I got a call from the Mosque 55, and the same day, I got a call from the Latter-day Saints.
In the same day.
The same day.
Look at that.
The day that I got shot in Frayser, the first two people to call me was the Mosque 55. Brother, you okay? Do we need to come out there? Do we need to do that? I'm a Christian. I'm
Right.
bold Christian.
Right.
But my relationship, my honor, my respect. I've missed my Sunday service and came to the mosque before.
Man, I mean, like, do you got Christian friends from doing that? Because that's taboo.
Hey, man, here's the thing. This is what I tell people. I say what Jesus says. Which one of my works do you want to stone me for?
Mm-hmm.
When people criticize me, this is what I say. When your results outweigh my results, I'll listen to you.
Ooh.
There's a difference between religion and kingdom mindset. The Cornelius was not a Christian, but Cornelius had given benefits to the body of Christ. So when he had a crisis, he was able to call on them. Because he had given some donations. They said, well, he ain't no Christian, man, but he done help finance some projects that we got going on around here. And so he worded Zacchaeus. Zacchaeus came to visit Jesus by night. He wasn't a Christian, but here's what happened. The relationship developed. Jesus got in trouble for hanging with him. The woman at the well, man, she was a prostitute. But ended up being one of the greatest evangelists of that time. And so what happens is our religion will cause us to have fear, and we'll lose some divine relationships that people that may not. See, God sent people in your life for seasons, for events, for seasons, and for long term. Now, if you try to make a long-term relationship a event or a season, man, you're going to be robbed. If you try to make an event person a long time, they going to rob you. And so you have to discern, man, what's this relationship? You know, the Samaritan that was laying on the side of the road, man, the guy healed him, paid for his room. You never heard them having no relationship no more.
No more.
So you got to ask, man, is this a
The Good
temporary?
Samaritan.
Is this a long-term relationship? Now I got to clean up something because if D Mercy, old pastor, hit me, he'll think I was recruiting him. And so, but this every time D Mercy would hit a crisis, he would call me,
and not his home pastor.
See, you got it.
Right.
So,
I got you.
And so this is what
It's
I would say.
relationship.
This is what I would say. Hey man, why you calling me? And I asked him. I said, did you call him? He said, no, I didn't call him. I said, there may be a reason.
Right.
That you keep calling me. And so I wasn't gonna be his booty call. Side chick.
Well, I just told you 3 minutes ago, he be very direct.
If you gonna get some benefits from it, man, this needs to be a mutual relationship.
Yeah, but you respected his folks off top. Because you like, yo, did you check with him?
Yeah.
Because because you could have just been like, man, forget that.
Yeah.
I got you, bro. But see, that's a sign of character.
His grind, his humility, his make an excuse, and the way he treats her. I watch a man how he treat his woman. If a man ain't gonna treat his woman right, who's in covenant, and she definitely doing stuff for him that I can't do.
Right.
If he ain't gonna treat her right, he ain't gonna treat me right.
And you watching all this.
Watching all of that.
Man. Yeah. So it seems like all this you saying, Pastor, is that Frayser's on the move.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
As they say, it's booming. It's Frayser should be booming.
Let me tell you something. If the pandemic hadn't happened,
man,
Frayser would be one of the hottest neighborhoods in Memphis 3 years from now.
Straight up.
Man, let me tell you what was happening before the pandemic. We had me and Caswell came up with this revelation of 7 P's. 7 P's. And that's the reason that I have, before 7 P's, I ran into this teaching called 7 Mountains.
Okay.
7 Mountains, or 7 Kingdoms, 7 Trees. And it talks about media. It talks about the 7 kingdoms. Media, arts and entertainment, politics, family, business, politics, and I think I got them all. I'm missing one. But how you have the church or religion. How if we're going to have any authority, you have to have impact on all of those. You got to have influence. And here's what happened. Religion has caused people to get stuck in the church. You don't go over there.
Right.
You don't talk to them.
Right.
You don't get involved in politics.
Right.
And so what happens is we have no influence, and when we come out, we normally come out begging.
Right.
We got to beg the people that we don't have relationship. Just today alone, the first part of my day, I was with bankers. I can pull out 5 banker cards that want to do business with me. I open up the prayer for, you ever heard John Hope Bryant?
Yeah, I heard it.
Yeah. He has Operation Hope. You'll love him. You'll love him. Google him. He says that civil rights is not the problem right now. Silver rights.
Silver rights?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Money.
Okay, got you.
So he says that he's got a book called The Memo. He says in any neighborhood that the average credit score is 750, you ain't gonna see no pawn shops, and you ain't gonna see no payday loan places there. You ain't gonna see no toting no cars there. And he says, and he talks about how he said the biggest thing other than a relationship with God and marriage that will change a person's life is a 750 credit score. So I'm there with him this morning. That's business. My wife just got chaplain of the day and did the convocation did the opening for county commissioners today. And then I'm here with you today. That's politics. That's business. This is media.
Yes, sir.
See, so watch this. Now I have a voice. I have influence with all of these, again, because of relationships.
That's right.
Yeah. And then you, I don't know if you remember it or not, I didn't wait till I get on your show to honor you. Do you remember that day it was 90-some degrees outside and you were DJing at the park down there on the river?
I think so, man.
You remember this good-looking guy helped carry your DJ equipment?
That's right.
To the stage with you?
Yes, sir.
That was me.
That was you. Oh man, brother.
So relationships
That's
are
right.
not just receiving. Here it is. I saw my brother best in a potential crisis situation.
And it was hot.
You got to walk way over there. It's hot. It's a
Yes,
bunch of
sir.
folks out there. You don't want to leave your equipment right there.
Yep.
Man, I didn't ask you. I started grabbing
You
stuff
started grabbing. That
And-
word is bomb.
and
Yes.
walking with you. Why? Because if your vision,
Mm-hmm.
your movement
Mm-hmm.
is profitable, man, it don't take nothing away from me.
That's right, bro.
It adds to me.
Man.
And it gives me the opportunity. I am a servant. Two things, man. You know, people say, 2 years ago I was on news 200 times. Last year I was on news about 175. This time, including you, I've been on with the media probably 40 times this year alone. So people say I'm chasing the camera. Did I ask you to be here today?
No, sir. No,
All right.
no, sir. No,
Yeah.
sir. No,
So
sir. No,
so
sir.
what
You
happens is the cameras and the microphones chase the workers, man. They chase the workers. Most people don't know I live downtown,
didn't.
but it is not uncommon. They can tell you about my social. It is not uncommon for me to get to Frayser at 5 a.m.
Man,
and leave at midnight.
right?
What?
It's not uncommon. It's
And y'all bear witness to this.
We be at home talking about it. I said, man, I don't even think. I said, do Pastor Rick
Yeah.
Floyd sleep?
I got you.
So Keith Norman said something about and that's I call myself a gatekeeper of Frayser. Keith Norman said something today, bro. I took some notes on something he said that I will be borrowing. Matter of fact,
Oh, you told him you was going.
Oh man,
going to use it.
This is what I told, and I'm not humble. I'm not egotistical and prideful enough to tell a brother that I need him. This is what I told him, because I got sweat equity in Frayser.
Oh yes, sir.
Keith Norman is a brilliant dude, and this is what I text him. I said, man, I need you to put your intellect on my sweat.
Wow.
Because the brother has a brilliant mind. He's an educator. I think he's a Morehouse graduate.
Yep.
I'm grinding. But some of this grinding I won't have to do if you give me the intellectual wisdom on how you've developed your community. He has a $42 million impact around his church.
42 million?
$42 million
He didn't
impact
stutter, ladies and gentlemen. He tell you straight up.
around his church. And so that's the same goal that I'm headed for. That when they come, and matter of fact, right now, best within all those things that I told you is within a 1 mile radius of my church. We house 150 to 180 people
On the compounds of the church?
on property that the church
property,
owns.
okay,
Some of it
okay.
houses, some of it apartment complex, some of it duplexes. We have affordable housing for 150 to 180 people. We have right now, brother. Right
Y'all
now.
you seen it, Mercy?
And so I tell people, if the economy drops right now, I met the girl. You ever heard of the girl? I met somebody that I think it's called Black Seed. You ever heard of her?
No.
Oh, you got to have her on the show, man.
Okay.
I just met her today.
But
they do. Okay, I'll set it up for you. But they do farming, and I think they got juices that they have in major chain stores around here. But I met her today. Met her today, and so. Man, we're getting ready to have acres of land that we're getting ready to grow our own food on. We got acres of land. We're getting ready to start growing on our food. And watch this. We're teaching the young brothers the skills.
Come on, man.
We're teaching the young brothers the skill. We're teaching them now how to sell. We're teaching them how to do customer service.
Yep.
We're teaching them how to communicate with people. We got somebody want to do a summer camp with us that want to teach them how to do producing, engineering, and stuff like that. So, man, we're giving our children skills. We're giving them self-esteem. We on this big tip right now. Sunday, we believe in God that we're gonna have about 150 to 300 men at our church. What we're gonna do is we're gonna have the men to surround the sanctuary, lock arms, and first thing we're gonna do is repent to our women and children.
Yeah.
Wow.
For not covering and protecting and providing for them like we should have.
Yeah.
Then the next thing we do is we're gonna pray for them and make a covenant that we're gonna be better men. We're gonna surround our sanctuary. and do that for men. So I had a I had a statement the other day. I said, you've heard of hypocrites, Moabites, Israelites, Hittites. I said, but we are now hypocrites who have built Amandacants.
Wow.
Amandacants. You know what a Mandacant is?
Break it down for us.
A man that can't buy a home. A man that can't start a business. A man that can't communicate. A man that can't get respect from his children. A man that can't pass a drug test. A man that can't got credit enough to buy his own car. So my heart, my conviction, and my passion right now, man, is to get men back as head of their households.
That's right.
And so that when a real man shows up, we don't view him as a toxic.
Wow.
I asked the question to our young people one night. My husband was to do boys. I said, who's heard of toxic masculinity? A lot of them heard it. I said, who's heard of toxic femininity? Nobody raised their hand. I said, who's heard of toxic effeminate? Nobody raised their hand. And so when I asked what's the definition of a toxic man, some of them thought a man was toxic because he married their mama and now they couldn't stay up and play games all night. He said, boy, go to bed.
Wow.
Or he told his mama, no, we ain't finna buy that right now. They viewed that as toxic because they've never had a real relationship, a protector, a provider, a guider.
Man.
My son told me, man, 5 years ago, he said, Dad, it feels awkward having a father.
Right.
You remember the time it felt awkward not having a dad?
Come on, man.
My son said it feels awkward having a father.
Look at that.
And so because of my daddy issues, I really buy into the scripture that he's called me to be a father to the fatherless.
Yes, sir.
But the bad part of that is so many men are bitter at their father that a lot of time I get punished for their daddy issues.
That's right. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Wow. So D Mercer, man, did you know all this was gonna happen tonight, man?
Oh man, honestly, I was really ready for war. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
And I was prepared. I know Pastor was gonna come locked and loaded. You know, I'm
Yes,
just
sir.
honestly though. You know how they be like, you know. So I'm gonna go street term if I will a little bit.
Just don't cuss.
No, we ain't. I ain't gonna do that there. You know,
He's censored.
I ain't gonna do that. But
you
know, in the streets, you know, you got that big homie. You know what I'm saying? And the big homies got what you call a foot soldier. You know what I'm saying? And I'm very like when Pastor Rick Floyd was, you know, I told him about you know, he said reach out to him. I was like, hey, that's my pastor. You know, we go to the church. It'll be easy to connect the dots on there. But I knew today like coming in here is more so. It's so more of that big homie vibe. You know, like I'm just behind him as a foot soldier.
Like he did.
Yeah,
He spoke
you
like
know,
a big homie.
Yeah, you know. So I'm here. You know, I'm here. I mean, like I could honestly say like I'd have been in church all my life if I could be real. You know, I've been in church all my life. Like literally, I was on the usher. I was an usher. I served on the deacon board. I sung in the choir. I did the whole 9 yards. But you know, being young, church was kind of pushed on you when you little. You know, it's like you got to seek God for yourself as you get older. You got to find out what's real and what's not because you could be on this. You can grow up on religious stuff when it really ain't religious. You know what I'm saying? And as I got older, it's like, man, it's a relationship overall when you get done because the only way you're going to be free is knowing, you know what, man, I got this relationship with God. You know, get out of being religious, you know, because, man, you're going to find yourself, you're going to stress yourself out because in religion, this is what happened. You trying to please everybody. You can't please everybody. It's not gonna work. I can't go to this church because man, they gonna look at me like this. But now, when you get that relationship, you be a little more free. I tell baby, look, we finna go here. You know what I'm saying? I'm knowing this ain't but when we go in there, we free.
But then, you taking the lead and you making the decision.
Yeah, making the decision. Right. You know, so we were tired. Yeah, we was tired.
But
I'm a get her flowers for this. Like she really checked me a little bit because honestly, she know I wear many hats. Like I do a lot of things outside of, just being at church. I coach football. I'm in stage plays. I wear many of them. But we got from the party.
That's how I knew he was my son.
Because he work. He out there
He has my spirit. He's a grinder.
I got you.
He want to help people. He want to look for opportunities to serve. He ain't trying to be seen. He looking for an opportunity to serve, and they make an opportunity for it. That's how I knew he was mine.
Wow.
One of my spiritual mentors, he said sometimes the son don't know who the daddy, but the daddy can look at it and say, that's my boy right there.
That's right.
That boy mine.
That's right.
And she checked me too, because after the party though, Pastor, we got home and I was like, man, it wasn't just the party, but I do so much. So I was already kind of drained. And she know I'll go on zero energy if I got to. And she'll be looking at me like, you ain't gonna sit down yet, But I said, man, I don't know if we're gonna be able to get up. And she was like, well, we're gonna get up. You got up for this, you got up for that. So, I'm like, yeah, you right. I didn't argue with that. I'm like, yeah, you know what, you right.
Get up
you
for
know.
that.
Man, so I was like, okay, you right. And boy, the tables turned a little bit, right? It was time to get up. I was up first. I'm looking at her, she dragging along. She the main one said, we gonna get up. And I'm telling her, you ready? She like, yeah. But you know what? But the beauty of
I
it.
think part of it is they know that they will be missed if they don't show up.
Right. Yeah. Well, now we're gonna get more than that text. We're gonna get more than that text. They're gonna be we yeah. So yeah. Yeah, but
I wanna get on some before we get out of here.
Right.
Everybody say crime, our young people, all this stuff going on. From your vantage point, man, I want you to take the time to look in that camera and give a word or whatever's on your heart to our young people, right? A lot of people, they beat our young people down. All this, they make them feel bad, and crime. But what would be your message to the young people in the city of Memphis, man?
I'm trying to see how I can divert your question without still answering your question. Man, it's a scripture that comes to mind, man, that says, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. And then it says, basically the scripture says, not because the knowledge was not available. The grown folks didn't listen to the knowledge. And here's what the scripture, it's a cold scripture. He says, because you forgot me, I'm going to forget your children.
Ooh, that's the scripture.
That's the scripture, bro. And so it looks like when you look around at what's going on with our children right now, it looked like God done forgot about our children, bro. The way they cutting up. On the way to that meeting that I told you about Saturday, I've always been children. But here's what I asked this question at that meeting. I said, let's say, Big John, you the big baby. We mama, dad, and grandmama.
Right.
Let's say you go get free from COVID.
Okay.
But you come back home to us today. And we all got COVID. What's finna happen?
I'm about to get COVID.
You finna get COVID again. Here's what I've seen, man. I've seen it. We can take I'm gonna add. You can relate to you being an educator. You can relate to this too. I was on the Frayser board, and I noticed that the math grades went up, but the English grades went down. So I said, hey man, y'all got to explain what's going on here. He said 1 + 1 is 2 in every household. So when we teach that's an automatic. He said, but when we teach them English, they're gonna go back home and whatever the language is in their house is they're gonna have more access to than what we're teaching them here.
Wow.
And so what happens, man, we can spend time with them boys on the football field. They can come to me at the Husband Institute mentoring program. But when they go home and see they mama boyfriend beating on them, see their brother smoking dope, see folks involved in all kind of sexual activities, man, the trauma, the emotions, the feelings, the survival mode that they're going to get from that, man, we don't have enough time nor resources to combat that sometimes.
That's right.
And so I think one thing that we've got on our campus, and we do have it available, we have a relationship with Agape where we have what's called 2-generational counseling. So it's not enough to get the son's mind right and then send him back into a dysfunctional household. You got to have the son in the daddy or the son in the mama who having all of their issues dealt with so they can get healed at the same time. because what's happening is she get counseling this week, she fine, and he need counseling that week, and it's just a schizophrenic, it's a yo-yo effect. So we've got, and that's why I say religious institutions are so important, because we get all of them sitting down together.
That's right.
We get all of them, one mind, one faith, one baptism. That word baptism means they come in, they merge in, they submerge, and then they rise up.
Okay.
And so what's happening is we're not having families, we're not having communities
Right.
to merge together.
Right.
James Brown said, people, we got to get under before we get over.
That's right.
And so most people trying to be over somebody, but they've never been under anybody.
Man.
And so they don't understand what the mindset of somebody they trying to tell to do this, but you've never been a do this person.
Never. Never.
So man, we gotta love, man. Here's what I found out, man. We gotta listen. We gotta love, and I got this from Steve Gain. Steve Gain doing a racial message. He said, man, we can't just go up to black folks in black churches and tell them this what y'all got to do. Now we got to learn how to listen first.
Right, what a lot of people don't want to do.
We got to listen. Yeah, you know, the guy that's the parking lot attendant at some of these white churches want to come over here because we black churches in Frayser. Now they won't let you do none of your church. You want to come over here and tell us how to do everything.
Wow.
And so you got to listen first.
Right.
And then you got to listen with your heart, not just your ears. And then you got to listen, not to correct, but you got to listen to learn. When you listen to learn, then it opens up the door for the opportunity to you to leave. Man, if you go into a hospital and the guy comes out with a scaffold, ready to cut, and he ain't ask you no questions.
Come on, man.
Man, you finna get up out of there.
This is about to be a problem.
And so you got people that are trying to cut on us that have never cultivated a relationship with us. And so one thing that we got to do is listen to those boys, those same boys that you saw them in that car rapping with. Man, I can go tell them, hey, man, what did you, man, get out and give me 20 push-up right now.
Right.
Man, they're going to do it. They're going to do it because they know that I'm not fussing at them out of anger.
Okay.
They know that I want their lives to be better in every way.
Wow.
And so I had one of the young boys, I gave him $250 last week. Now, we got a thrift store, upscale thrift store, nice stuff. Like you said, they got that from there, so it ain't no.
I got you.
Yeah. So we got suits your size too, baby.
Yes,
you ever want
sir.
to get suited with a bow tie? I got you.
Come on, man.
So man, they got the check, and one of them said, "I'm finna go $250 check. I'm finna go buy some $175 Jordan." I said, "Man, you ain't gonna spend no money where you got your money from."
Ooh,
oh man.
crusty.
I said, "Now wait a minute. I fed you today
Ooh.
out of my money. I went and got your haircut for
your
today.
money. Out of your money.
Out of my money. Not the church money, not the boutique money.
Right.
Out of my money. I said, I gave you $250 to church. Then I turned the register around. I said, now, y'all add how much money I paid y'all and how much money we made today.
Ooh.
I said, I lost money to serve you. I said, now you finna go take $150 out of our community. Today, just got it, and finna go spend $150, $175 in somebody else's community. I said, man, how I'm gonna pay you next week? How I'm gonna have a job for you next year? How we gonna buy this block up? I said, you deserve the Jordans, but everything, there's a time and season. We gotta balance this out, man. Because I'm sure you know this, but the African Americans, we spend our money is spent 6 hours after we get it. And he was just finna prove that. He's finna spend 60% of his money
somewhere else
within 6 hours that he get. In the other communities, the money stays an average of 25 days.
25 days. It circulates in its own neighborhood.
25 days.
And you said 4 hours or 6 hours? 6 hours.
So we spend it before we get off work. And so, but now, when I taught them that, I took the time, and the Lord told me, he said, don't be frustrated with the students that you got to teach. Because at first there was a spirit of frustration on it. He said, how shall they know?
All right, come on, man.
Except they have a teacher.
That's right.
And
yes,
so,
sir.
So when I taught him the next day, he said, man, I ain't spending all my money over there. And he came back and bought something. Watch this. to keep the money in his community.
But you taught him that.
You taught him that.
Well, I hope
you can't
young,
do better till you know better.
I hope you young folks heard what he was saying because he said some real stuff, ladies and gentlemen. And Pastor Floyd, man, I thank you, man. Look, we've been rolling, brothers.
we in overtime.
Hey, but you with the boss.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
That's a good thing.
You with the boss because we can play music all day long.
Yeah.
Right.
Up and down the radio dial, you're going to hear music.
Yeah.
You're going to hear some negative stuff. You're going to hear stuff to make you feel good. But when you cut off the music for a message like this, I take the hit. When somebody complains, say, Brother John, where the music at? I said, you ain't hear that? Well, it was music to my ears.
Right.
Yep. It was a sweet melody, not just to my ears, but to the folks that's watching and to the folks that's listening. They got something from that. Yeah. So I don't want to say it had to be an hour mixtape. But it could be an hour, a spiritual mixtape. You know what I'm saying? Put a beat to it. But the thing is, we wanted to give you your flowers, brother, because
I want to say I don't take this lightly.
Right.
Yes, sir.
I believe God strategically placed people like you have a heart for our city and our community in this position. And this is a gift.
Yes,
and
sir.
The fact that you will use your space and your influence, man, allow me to share what I call the good news, man.
Yes, sir.
I'm humble and I'm grateful, bro.
Yes, sir. Thank you, D. Mercy.
Man, thank you.
You was the connect
plug.
You the plug. You and the missus the plug.
You know, now
but look, I want to make my word bond, man. I said I wanted to end this segment with your song, man. So go ahead and cue up the song before I drop it. You let everybody know what they about to hear.
Y'all already know what's going on, man. It's your boy D Mercer, aka Big Mercer, man. Y'all ever heard my hit single, one of the best right now in the city, called "I Wanna Live Right" in this country, man. So make sure y'all type in WANNA. I wanna live right.
Said I wanna live.
I wanna live right. Yes, sir.
Here on 88.5 FM.
Whoa. Mercy gang, Mercy gang. I wanna live right. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay. I pray and keep it moving cause I want to live right. Ain't no shame in my game, yes I represent Christ. If my friends don't like it, then I tell them bye-bye. Cause some don't want it, but I want it like mine. I wanna live right. I wanna live right. I wanna live right. I wanna live right, yeah. Laughing at the devil like the joke's on you. Looking at my watch about time, make a move. If the scriptures in the water, then I'm diving in the pool. Hating everybody, know I can't be a fool. I hope it's understood, cause I'm going by the rules. Living for God, just doing what I do. I know they gon' hate and I know they gon' talk. Friends ain't friends, so they fit in when I walk. But I got the word in me, so I let the Bible walk. Fly for a Christian, just call me a hawk. Strong for my God, they're right, I'm a stalk. Never going back on no they thought. And I found my way and I ain't trying to get lost. Look to the hills, I see my boss. I wanna go to heaven cause I know it don't call. Read the Bible for yourself so you know it ain't false. I pray and keep it moving cause I want to live right. It ain't no shame in my game, yes I represent Christ. If my friends don't like it, then I tell them bye-bye. Cause some don't want it, but I want it like mine. I wanna live right. I wanna live right. I wanna live right. I wanna live right, yeah. Everybody know me by Mr. Babylon, hashtag mercy and me. Everybody know I had a past. Was game bang, but I'm out the street. So I thank the Lord for another day. And I ain't worried about what no haters say. I keep my mouth closed. Cause in other words, I don't conversate, but I keep moving like an interstate. Glory to God, cause he done paved the way. Glory to God, cause he done made the way. Hashtag what that Bible say. Soak it in and let it marinate. Burn good fruits, but don't stray. Hashtag what that Bible say. And let them know my God is great. I pray and keep it moving, cause I want to live right. It ain't no shame in my game. Yes, I represent Christ. If my friends don't like it, then I tell them bye-bye. Cause some don't want want it, but I want it like Mike. I wanna live right. I wanna live right. I wanna live right. I wanna live right, yeah.
Wow, ladies and gentlemen, get it up. D Mercer in the building.
Yes, sir, ski.
Now, I gotta be honest. Pastor, when he first heard me, he said trap gospel or something of that nature.
Yeah.
I'm trying to wrap my mind
Yes,
around
sir.
it because I'm like, you ain't cussing?
Yeah.
And they said, gotta listen to the lyrics.
Yeah.
And when I heard the lyrics,
Yes,
and when he
sir.
said he want to live right,
Yeah.
I thought about all our brothers and sisters out there that want to live right. Man. That's he got something with that one.
Yeah.
That's a hit right
Yes,
there,
sir.
man.
Yes, sir.
And it got all of us was in here
Heard it from
moving.
the
Yes,
best.
sir.
Right. All of us was
Yes,
in here
sir.
moving. That's a hit, man,
Yes, sir.
because what you said and the message in that, I guarantee you stop 9 out of 10 children and they gonna say the same thing.
Yes, sir.
They wanna live
Yeah.
right.
I receive
I
it.
want to. I want to do right.
Mhm.
So, brothers and sisters, thank you so
Yes,
much
sir.
for
Appreciate you.
stopping by.
Yes, sir.
You know, yes, we went over time,
Mhm.
but come on, man. The spirit, I feel the spirit was in here
Mhm.
tonight.
It
And
was.
this message needed to go over the airwaves,
Mhm.
all because of you, brother.
Yes, sir.
He's right. We've seen each other in
Mhm.
passing. He did help me
Mhm.
carry this equipment in the hot weather.
Mhm.
And look, he wasn't no man. You ain't thank me. You ain't say nothing on Facebook.
Right,
about
right,
it."
right,
You know
right,
what I'm
right,
saying?
right.
But
Yeah.
he brought it to me at a time where he
Yeah.
can make me reflect
Yeah.
Mhm.
That I'm
on
a servant.
that
Yeah.
he's a servant.
Mhm.
Didn't ask nothing. In matter of fact, I looked around.
Mhm.
He was gone.
Yeah.
Right.
Just like that. But it was because of you
Yes, sir.
and how you talked him up to me
Mhm.
to made me say, I gotta get him on.
Yes,
Because
sir.
also, Pastor, I don't have people on because people say, hey, you need to have this person on.
Mhm.
Hey, this person,
Yeah.
he got 1,000
Right.
likes.
Yeah.
Right.
The
Your
spirit
Right.
I feel that.
say,
Yeah.
invite this person
I
on.
feel
that.
That's why I may not have
Mhm.
the popular people or
Right.
the people
Yeah.
that's supposed
Yeah.
to be
Yeah, yeah.
popping
Mhm.
in the city because I don't want to waste the listeners' ear
Yeah.
or the people on Facebook to be like,
Mhm.
man, why Brother John had that person on?
Yeah.
He robbing the community.
Right,
You know what I'm saying?
right,
Or he
right.
lying.
Yeah.
She lying.
Yeah.
But I'd rather have
Yeah.
our people that's doing
Because
the
he
work.
asked y'all
Mhm.
12 times to co-sign for what I
Right,
said.
right, right. I'm like, now is he telling y'all the truth? Now he's saying the truth
Mhm.
because the listeners is like, they wearing his clothes. They wearing the clothes up in here.
Yeah.
But nah, brother, it's nothing but love, man.
Yes,
And
sir.
anytime y'all got anything y'all
Mhm.
want the community to know about, man, don't hesitate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we got what?
Huh?
No,
Yeah,
no, you go ahead.
No.
Oh, okay. You want me to do that? Okay. No, we got the Memphis 10 tour coming up. We just got a couple brothers and sisters that, that's kind of been putting in, the work for the Memphis 10. There's a lot of us, though, but we felt that the ones that's on the Memphis 10, we need some reconcile going on because some of us kind of we let the wrong people in the wrong spaces and the wrong ears to hear the wrong thing, and it kind of bumped us away from the mission that God really wanted us on. So to kill that right there is like, man, if we're going to do this, we're going to do this the right way. And the first stop will be no other than Pod, our church home. We're going to be there first March 29th. And, man, we going
So the
it's
Memphis
going
10 is 10 brothers like him that bringing that gospel thunder.
yeah.
I like
hip-hop,
gospel
grind,
thunder.
trap.
That's
Yep.
it. That's
Yep.
it.
So
But
so
with
shout out
much
to all them.
success.
Yeah.
And maybe
Shout
if
out
y'all
to T-Mac, the sheep.
Yeah.
Between
He
the
did.
sheets.
Yes, sir.
if you give me some if you can send me like a 30-second PSA or something,
Mhm.
I'll get it and make sure that it'll play just so people know
We got you.
they can come check that out.
We'll
You
get
see
that.
what I'm saying?
We'll work on
That's
that.
what real men
Yep.
do, right? You
Yep.
see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Because we want to pack that out.
Right. We're gonna
Right?
work on that piece. I got you.
Get it
I'll get it recorded and try to, get the names on there.
Yeah.
We'll do that.
Okay.
So,
All right.
Mhm.
Thank you, Queen, for
Mhm.
allowing your brother to be here with us, letting him talk and do what he do. But
Mhm.
it's because of you that our brother got a chance to
Right.
talk to the world.
I don't want to say this last thing though, but because of Pastor, and then also she done checked me, and today I think it was heavy on me. I think since we done came to Pod, it's like the enemy just kind of be triggering real tough. And like I'm at work today, and I was thinking, we had, every relationship had their moments. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And she said some deep stuff. I said some, not in no bad way, but it was more like, man, hear her out. You know, like I'm that driver, you know, in the seat that's trying to get us there.
Right.
But sometimes it's like, this ain't what you did. You didn't do this. You didn't do that. You know, for the kids, like the kids are on spring break, you know,
Right.
and I've been moving so much. And like I said, I move a lot.
Right,
And she brought to my attention, like, man, we missed the mark. You know, we didn't get a chance to do so much with the kids, you know.
Wow.
And so I got to redeem myself. I'm like, okay, now when I get them on this weekend, we need to have a family day out, you
Come
know.
on, man.
But like I said, you know,
But
the
what
enemy.
if she didn't tell you that?
Yeah, if she didn't tell me,
Man,
then
I
I
say if a
wouldn't see
woman
it.
ain't changing you, she might not be your woman.
Right.
She might not be sent from God. She's supposed to be changing you
Right.
for the better.
Right.
There it is.
You know, so now I'm saying this live, you know, this because it hit
We
me
I
hard, you know,
appreciate
and
you being vulnerable with that
yeah.
because that's something
That's
that
lead
we
by
don't
example.
do
Yes,
Right.
sir.
as black men.
Yes,
Mhm.
sir.
We burning up inside
Right.
and won't say
It
nothing.
won't say
Right.
nothing.
Just on fire.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, you
Right.
good? Yeah, I'm good, man.
Mhm.
Pass that.
And you know what?
pass
That was me
Come
though.
on now.
That was me though. I honestly, I think I'm just now getting this year.
Yeah.
I'm just now getting over that hump. But I'll tell. She'll ask me in a minute, "You good?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm good." But really, in reality, I'm not good. You
I
know.
say that's the biggest lie a black man told. I'm good.
I'm good.
Mhm.
That's right. I'm
Yep.
straight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yep.
Yeah. Soon if I start telling you, man, I
Mhm.
got X, Y, man, then you can't handle
Yep.
because you think he can't handle
Mhm.
what you tell him.
Right.
Right.
Because and that's why we
Got to be
hold it
strong
in.
for
Mhm.
everybody else.
Right.
This may be another conversation.
Yes,
coming.
That's
That's a whole other conversation.
Yeah. Yep.
Thank
Yep.
y'all so
Yes, sir.
much.
Thank you, man.
All
Man,
right.
love y'all too.
Mhm.
Ladies and gentlemen, there you have it, man. The brother doing great work out in Frayser. But you notice he shouted out our board member, Stephanie Love. He shouted out our county commissioner, Charlie Caswell. All of them three, I call that the trifecta right there. The work that they doing out there in Frayser is something serious, ladies and gentlemen. And I hope he got his flowers, and I hope that y'all got to see and hear for yourself, because don't believe what somebody told you about somebody until you hear it from himself. And he gave it. We gave the props to D. Mercer, but when that brother came, it's like he threw the alley-oop and Pastor Floyd came through and dunked that thing on y'all. That's that basketball. Some of y'all, that went over some of y'all heads, but I thank y'all for listening tonight. We had a great time. And, you know, sometimes we gotta kill the music to get the message. And I hope y'all got the message today. I hope y'all not upset with me about this, but ladies and gentlemen, sometimes we gotta get that message. Y'all keep it locked. We are 88.5 FM.